Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Saturday morning over here. The sun is out. I can see the mountains from my balcony. It's fantastic. I took this trade last night that was, for me, it was fantastic. And it gave me 5% capital growth. And what was so fantastic about it was not so much the capital growth. It was more how everything I've been learning about is really starting to kind of come together, and I'm finally developing an ability to understand what far greater traders than me have been telling me for a couple of years now. But anyway, I was pretty chuffed with this trade and how I got to the trade. So I thought, hey, I should share this with you guys so that perhaps my learning can also be passed on to you guys. So a lot of traders, myself included, they get into trading and then they're like, right, I got to learn some A plus B equals C thing. So I get A and I get B, and that means I do this. And they're just looking for the candle formation, which tells them to buy or to sell, or the magic tool, which tells them when to do what. And a lot of people trade like this, most of them unsuccessfully, some of them successfully. You know, you do get systems traders, right? This is what they do, right? They identify patterns. They have like maybe a whole pile of patterns which they trail all the charts for, and they look for, and they monitor the performance of each of those patterns. And you would have to be really consistent about your record keeping. I mean, you should be anyway, but if you were interested in becoming a systems trader, you would have to track all the performance of all these systems, because a system doesn't work forever. You get A plus B, and it might equal C for a while, but then the system's performance might start to kind of fall apart. And these guys, they must always be hunting for new patterns that they can just kind of mindlessly just follow along. Like, oh, there's A, there's B, okay, that means this is gonna happen, right? Personally, I'm not really interested in trading like that. It's so dull. It's so boring to me. If it works for you, no bother. If you're making money at whatever it is you're doing, don't stop doing it. Like, do it. It probably suits your personality. And hey, there's no one way to trade. But I don't like trading like that. I like this reading price action thing and understanding the swings and trying to flow with price and try to really understand on a very kind of deep level what the buyers and sellers are doing and what is their psychology in the market. What's really cool about trading in this way is it doesn't actually matter what you trade or what time frame you trade, or like it won't ever kind of stop working, right? You don't have to go like learn another system that you can trade for a while and track. You know what? You can just kind of develop this skill, and then at any point on anything that you can chart, you can read the data and effectively trade. Until very recently, I've heard this kind of logic, for a couple of years now, and it's only very recently that, like within the last 1 to 2 weeks, to be honest, where something just clicked. I was reading the Market Geometry blog. These guys are fantastic. Like, they've put out so much free stuff, like on their blog. They have a YouTube channel as well. It doesn't seem to get nearly as much attention as I think it should, because man, these guys are outstanding at what they do. I'd really like to subscribe to them. They're kind of expensive for me. It's like $170, $180 a month or something. But even just among their free stuff, there's so much I've learned from them. I'm really grateful for everything they put out. So anyway, so kind of, they teach swing trading. And, well, that's what I've been learning to do and pursuing and trying. And this, it's a lot of fun. I like it a lot. Anyway, so let's get stuck into looking at how this trade unfolded and how I was able to make the decisions I was able to make. And it worked out as a very nice plus 5% capital growth, because every trade I risk 1% of my bank. Okay, so if I'm entering here, my stop loss is down here. Okay, I risk 1% in this. In fact, one of the reasons I like tradingview.com so much is because I can link it to my broker, and I don't have to do any math. When I enter the trade position, I can just say risk 1%, and it will just work it all out for me. It'll look at my bank, and it'll work out what 1% is, and it will work out the stakes, like how much I need to buy so that if price was to come down and trigger my stop loss, I would lose 1%. Okay, so I define my risk down here for this trade, and I risk 1% on it. And at the time, let's just unlock this. At the time, I was targeting like around 3.5, something like this. But because of how it unfolded, I actually changed my plan a bit to adapt to it. Anyway, we'll get into that as the trade unfolds. So let's go back. Got another tab open here. 5-minute bars. Where are we? Okay. Let's go back. I guess I probably jumped in around. Probably started following around. Where's replay? Replay. Thank you. Somewhere around here or something. And we can kind of take a look at this data. You know how we've been swinging. And then we'll go forward at like 1 bar every second instead of every 5 minutes, and kind of try to retell the story as I was reading it yesterday. So let's just, hey, give me data. Give me data. What's your problem? Come on. Ish. Come on, not now. Ugh. The internet here sometimes is just really useless. No, I'm gonna do it. Okay, reload. So while this reloads, you can I don't know, grab a coffee or something. Is it loading? It's loading pretty quickly. Okay, good. Come on, give me some more. Give me some more data. Yeah, let's get it all in. There we go. Okay, so we are. Yeah, see, we're somewhere around here. Okay. So I was looking at this. Let's just replay from here. Why? Why do you suck? Why? Okay. TradingView, you're letting me down. So here we are. Okay, so what we do is we mark out major high, yeah, and we come down, we make this low. Okay, this high is confirmed, right? See, we came down, we made a low, we came up, and we came down. When we come down, we break this low, and this is confirmed. And you should definitely go check out the market geometry stuff, because they talk about this on their blog, and it's free, you know, like it's so awesome. It's really cool. Anyway, so the idea is this is confirmed, and then we just kind of get stuck here for a bit. So I was looking at this and I was like, okay, we seem to just kind of be ranging, and this is what I was thinking at the time. And then you can see that within that swing, we've got another swing. It goes up here, and it comes down here, and then it goes all the way up there. And like, this catches my eye because this relates to this. See how they're kind of equal? If we think about our wave, like where wave goes up, it comes down, it goes up again. Like this relates. And I like that. And what I've learned is that we can think of this as our major swing. Let's make this a bit smaller. There we go. And then we've got our major reaction. Yeah. So we have a reaction to that swing. For every action, there is a reaction. You know, this is basic physics stuff. And then after that reaction, we have our, what does Shane call it? An impulse leg. So you know, we've got this like this cycle of price, you know, that we have this wave going through price. And after this impulse, you know, this kind of relates to this. We can think about maybe we're going to get something like this again. Yeah. As it happens, we just kind of come down to here. Okay, we're here now. Let's put on some replay. Yeah. Play. So, you know, we're up here. You'd be thinking at this point in time, okay, well, this relates to that. And we've got new minor lows, right? So, you know, we've also got little swings in here. Yeah. So we come down, we come up. We've not made a new low yet. So this could go higher and still be a part of the swing. Oh, okay. Now we're making a new low-ish. Come on. Get down here. I know it's coming down here. Okay, so then we're down there. So okay, that must be it. It's right on the line. So then I'm looking at this and oh, we get this massive rip, right? Let's get this in. Yeah. So see how we've got like a minor wave. You've got like waves within waves. Okay. So let's make these red. So you've got minor swings and you've got major swings. And you've got minor swings, and you know, like there's so many iterations of the swing within a swing. But we're gonna keep it relatively simple, okay? So we've got this major swing, and like making, you know, inside this one swing on this frame, you have minor swings, like price is waving through time and space, right? Everything is vibrating in the universe. This is just a pattern. So we can kind of track this and we can think about measuring this. So we come down when we start kind of maybe breaking these guys, we're thinking about this is a confirmed end of this swing, all right? Because we're starting to maybe break. It would be nicer if it was up here. Like when we break this minor swing high, this is definitely confirmed. Yeah. When we break this minor swing high, this major swing is confirmed finished. Hey, be in the right place and be black. Thank you. Okay, so we're just kind of following along. We're trying to get into the flow of price. You know, we're trying to get a feel for it. You're getting intimate with it. You know, you're gonna take it out for dinner or something. So here we are. So we had our major impulse. You know, this is kind of like, this is another major reaction. This is a reaction leg to this. It'd be nicer when we take out this. Okay, so we're starting to do it. So I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Let's pull up a fork and maybe measure this. Aha, that's interesting. Dr. Alan Andrews developed this pitchfork tool. And this is kind of like old trading stuff, but it is so awesome. So Dr. Alan Andrews, I don't know, decades and decades ago, worked out that when you have a swing, yeah, so this swing is kind of confirmed, yeah, when we know this is one swing because it's taken out minor swings under it. And when you get this complete swing, you can take this extreme, and this extreme, and price has like an 80% probability to hit the median line. The center line is the median line. 80% probability. It's crazy. If price does not hit the median line, like here, it missed it, right? Here, price missed the median line. It missed. Then there is a high probability that, what does he say? He says that price will move further away in the opposite direction than it coming towards the median line. Okay, so price, the way I understand it is price came towards the median line from here and moved this far. Okay, so then we should be moving further away than that, which would basically mean we take out this high, and that's all he's telling us, right? But if you think about it, it's showing us that price is like it does not want to be sold here. Like it's being bought up. And if we look to the left, you know, we've got like a little coil in here. You know, look at price just kind of building energy. We come down and, well, we just rip up from it. And now we can start to kind of think about how we're swinging again. Can we delete? Yeah. So this kind of relates to this. It's a little bit short, but it's, you know, it's kind of within the ballpark. We are kind of trending up. Okay, our line was there, you know, so maybe like let's measure this major reaction swing. I'll make that a little bit more accurate in a minute. I guess the data would be here. Replay, I'm kind of disappointed in you. Anyway, you know, we can kind of measure this swing and see how like 80% will hit the median line. Doesn't mean we will have to come off it or anything, but the price is just attracted to this area. Look at it. Look at it kind of hug this. Look at this major reaction. Like when we measure this, like it's kind of in this zone because this is how we're waving. This is not a channel. I mean, you know, people will draw stuff in and be like, yeah, we're stuck in this channel. But it's with the fork, we get a much more interesting insight into what price is doing. Okay, so we have an extreme here, we have an extreme here, and we had an extreme here. And we can use these three extremes to kind of describe where future extremes are likely to be and where the future path of price is probable. The probable path of price, they say. So this is quite interesting, you know. But this is more, this is us measuring the more recent swing, right? And it's giving us more recent information. So I don't want to litter the chart up too much yet. So here we are. We've missed the median line, and this is giving me a strong kind of bullish contention. Like maybe I'm thinking something along the lines of, no, not this one. Come on, give me the other one. Yes. Maybe I'm thinking something along the lines of this again, like, you know, we're just kind of flowing like this, you know, so I have this drawn in. If it's me, I'm probably, you know, making it dash to remind me that this is not a sure thing. This is a question, you know. So we're kind of doing this. I'm just kind of following along, trying to get into the flow. We've clearly broken these sellers here. You know, this minor swing is finished, definitely. You know, like that was the swing, and this is the swing within that swing. These are the swings within that swing. So we're looking at this, and I'm like, okay, well, if this swing is finished, then let's just take a look at its probable path. It looks like we've already hit it. We have. See, it's tricky, right? Because you actually don't start to think that this swing is finished until we're all the way up here and we've already can hit. So you don't always get an entry just off a fork, but you know, we can use the forks to kind of measure and see what's going on and where we're going. Okay, so we're kind of swinging, we're swinging. As far as I'm concerned, my major structures, that we are, you know, this swing is kind of bouncing off are here, hey, duplicate, thank you, here, you know, where's the next one going to be? Is it going to fall? You see how it's almost like this corridor where it's just kind of like the wave is bouncing through. And this major structure is where I'm thinking about putting a stop. That's what this big thing is. This is where the stops are. This is what I'm thinking about trading. Okay? I'm just waiting for a trade to kind of fall in my lap, right? So anyway, oh, we're here. Hang on. Okay, we're pretty current. We must be pretty current. I'm recognizing this. Spent more time looking at this yesterday than this stuff. This stuff is just getting into the flow of price. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, what's going on? Why does this, you know, this looks rejection-y to me. Circle, red, great. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm like, the sellers there. There's sellers there. There's sellers there. There's sellers there. Yeah, see, they sold it here, it came down. Buyers bought it up. They sold it here, it came down. Buyers bought it up. They sold it here. It came down here. Okay, so now the sellers are starting to take out the buyers. Okay, so the sellers have more power. Like, you know, there's more selling bias here. It came up. It put out a new low. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks like a bit of a coil. And I observed earlier that we seem to do this thing where we coil, we pop it, and then we shoot off in the opposite direction. So I'm kind of noticing this. There's this kind of pattern to this market, to price at the moment. See, there's one pop, we're off. I remember seeing that there was one over here as well, but you can't see it because TradingView's replay features letting me down. But even here, like if you think about it on a bigger scale, you know, like we've got coil, pop, run. Yeah, you see this? Like we seem to have this kind of pattern to price that I'm kind of taking note of. Maybe not drawing it in every time I see it, right? But I am taking note of. We have this, you know, we build a coil, we pop, we come up, and here I wrote this in, you know, I was like, failed? Like, and it's a question, you know, like, have they failed? Because I've seen this pattern a bunch of times, and now we popped it down here, we come up, and the sellers pound it back down again. So I'm like, okay, they try to bring it up here, they fail, then they try to bring it up here again, and I was watching this like bar by bar at this point, because I'm like, you know, like I want to be going long this market because I like this flow, but this is worrying me. Like this is a warning, you know, like they tried here and they failed. You know, the buyers are failing now. The sellers are pushing out newer lows. So you know, I'm thinking about, oh, maybe this flow is breaking. Maybe there's some bigger wave that's forcing price to start to fail on this flow and come down again. So I'm watching this, but then when we get up here, I'm like, aha, okay, we're maybe succeeding, but I would quite like to be clear of this, right? Like there's selling going on in here, and I would quite like to be clear of it. So or something like this. Anyway, then we come up here, and like around these bars, I'm like, this is it. We're gonna make a run for it, right? Like, you know, okay, we've eaten through these sellers, and then we come off it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're still failing. I mean, I like the flow long, but I don't know, like there's a lot of selling going on in here, and well, then we get this. So finally we rip up, and this is really nice, because think about what we've been talking. Let's clean this up a little bit. Think about what we've been talking about regarding waves, right? So also look, this is our, it's equal to this one, right? It's the same line. I dragged it over, made it dashed. Okay, so within this, like if we're waving like this, then this is one swing. Within that swing, let's make these guys orange. No, not those guys. There we go. Let's make them orange. Let's make them blue. Within this swing, we've got, let's be solid, we've got high, a low, and a higher high. Yeah, and see, look at this swing. This equals this. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is nice. This is nice, because this looks like we could maybe be expecting this swing. It's close. It relates, right? So now maybe this is this swing. Let's see what happens. So I'm watching this and I'm thinking, okay, well, you know, didn't get long for this leg of the waves, but like, let's just watch for a while and let's see what happens. I like that. I've also marked in this. I like that in here, the buyers tried, sellers pushed it back a bit, but the buyers ultimately in here, these are my buyers. These are my buyers that push this up again. Okay. And look how we're responding off this area. It's just awesome. You know, it's just awesome. So now I'm kind of changing this and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel confident about this. This is another fact. This is not guesswork. This is just me reading what is actually happening. Okay, I'm not guessing this and that. Like, I'm asking loads of questions, and as the bars unfold, I get real information about what's actually happened, you know? And then I'll make decisions based on that real information. I'm not gonna draw in some lines and be like, pretty lines, and then, you know, make decisions based on that. I'm actually looking for the real information that is in this market. So I'm like, I like the bars in here. These bars are strong. This is a minor pivot, okay? This is my major structure. My major structure is kind of following like this, okay? But now I'm looking at this and I'm just, you know, well, what I do, you know, this is an old fork, but it's still kind of interesting. I'm also gonna tap on the extension. It puts us right up here. I'm really liking this, you know. I'm like, this makes sense. This swing should be turning around here, okay? So if, you know, we have an action, here's our action, we can start thinking about getting a reaction. Yeah, there we go. So let's make it vaguely similar. And I'm like, this is nice. I like this. Also, this is kind of steep. So let's modify it. It's something to learn about. Aha! It catches price really nice. It catches price really nicely. And we're starting to kind of build some confluence. And it's like, sure, this is a minor swing, right? And look at this. Within this minor swing. Another color. What color? Green. Within this minor swing, you can see another cycle. You know, like there's a cycle. It describes the whole swing. Here's a cycle. It describes that blue swing. You know, here's the red minor swings. It describes the black major reaction that I've called, okay? So then we have, you know, after this reaction, we have our major impulse leg. Again, it's this black one. From that, we can start to think about, okay, we're running into the warning line of this old fork after we missed it. We're kind of following, we're also kind of following this major reaction swing. Like we measured this and we modified it because it was quite steep, and sure enough, we're running, you know, we got loads of confluence up here. The length of this swing kind of equals the length of this swing. Like I'm flowing with this market. Like I get it. I get how this market is waving through time and space, you know, like, you know, I'm in sync, you know. So I'm looking at all this and I'm thinking, I like this, you know, like maybe we'll get our next leg, right? I'm like, maybe we can think about something like this, and these things should be dashed because they are not facts. They are me building an opinion, right? But they're not facts yet. But I'm looking at this and I'm, you know, that we've got this coil in here as well, you know, see how we have this coil around where this, you know, where it pivoted, you know, like this is like energy was built here. I'm looking at all this and the fact that sellers really tried hard here and they got wiped out. The fact that the sellers lost here, they took it down, they made a bit of a new low, but then they just, you know, buyers just went to town on them. Like this gives me strong buying bias. And I don't want to buy up here because we've already done the move. It's the buyers down here that I want to defend my position. So we kind of do this and, you know, let's get in here and let's get some proper, let's start to get more intimate with the bars. And I'm thinking, oh man, I was thinking about going short if it gave up a nice enough entry. You know, I was thinking, I think we could come back down here because this swing looks complete. And we build this coil and I'm like, aha, I like this. Let me pause this before it runs away. It got away. So in here, you know, I was marking in this coil. Marked it in red. And I was like, what is, you know, are we going to pop this coil? And I actually kind of thought maybe we'll pop it. We'll come up off this. Then maybe we'll wash these guys here. And then maybe I'll get a short trade. On a short trade near the major structure, okay? So I can have the major guys defend me while I trade back down to like, you know, these guys or something like, ooh, 6-1. That would be lovely, right? As it happened, you know, we got this. Oh, it's going so fast. And then I'm like, aha, it zoomed. So I wrote this on the chart. I was like, we zoomed. We zoomed these guys. This doesn't look like this is happening. I certainly wouldn't want to be going short if we come all the way back off this. Where was it? Where was it? Where did I have my entry? What? All right, yeah. I'm looking at this as if it's this. This looks so much smaller now. We're looking at it something like this. Where was my entry? Okay, I had these guys more specific. Oh yeah, that's right. So what I find interesting about this down in here is like if you pull it all the way back here and further, you can see that this kind of zone, right? It's not one line, but it's kind of a zone, you know, like we stumbled over it, we zoomed, we found support on it, we zoom under it, we found a bit of resistance, and we poke through it, but we're still resistant. We pull back, we bust it, support. We, you know, dribble through it a bit, and then up, support. I like this zone. This zone is nice. It's a nice multi-pivot zone. We're also running into the projected path of major structure. We've got the old missed median line here. You'll often find, you know, price will react off these kind of levels again in the future. And now we're kind of coming back into the zone. So now I'm feeling very comfortable with putting an order in to go long this market, and I'm hiding my stop behind the buyers here, right? Because I'm hoping that these buyers are serious buyers. Sure, it's the minor swing, it's not the major, but I like the action. The fact that we're just coming straight back off this is a little disconcerting, because I was kind of thinking about going long maybe more at this point in time, but we come straight back, and I'm a little bit worried about this because maybe price is just reversing here and we've got some bigger wave that's actually gonna pull price down and break this wave pattern, right? Like we're waving like this. At some point this will fail, and it will fail entirely because there's actually a larger wave pulling price. So maybe price just rips straight down from here and breaks this flow, but hey, I'm comfortable putting my stop down here with these guys, yeah, and try the odds that this flow is continuing. So I'm watching this and I've got my order in. So we come down, I'm in. And then I'm quite comforted to see that we struggle here. We maybe build a bit of a base. I'm like, this is pretty fast. Like, what the hell happened? Like, where did my buyers go? They're still here defending this zone, defending the major structure, you know, because price is naturally trying to vibrate through time and space like this. And then we come up, I'm like, fantastic. Pause. So I'm looking at this. Oh man, this is way too much noise. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is great. And now I'm asking the question, is this a wash? We came down pretty fast. We came down a lot earlier. Like I put an order in because I wanted to be long there while I was sleeping, you know. But we came down pretty early, and this is, you know, I'm like, what's going on? Also, look at these bars. These bars are huge. Where's the big one? But you know, we got sellers pounding on this, and then buyers just rip up through them. Massive tail. Yeah, there's the bar. So I'm looking at these bars, and you know, this bar stands out to me. So I'm looking at this bar and I'm like, man, this whole thing could be a wash. If this is a wash, what are they washing? They're washing the smaller traders that are in here. They're washing these guys out of the market. They're, they're cleaning out their stops. Their stops are gone. Anybody that was long here and was holding, they're gone. They're out. We wash them. If this is in fact a wash, then we should be going for a higher high. I was only targeting to come back up to here. I figured that's relatively safe. We get my 3-to-1. It was actually like 3.5 or something I was targeting. My entry probably wasn't exactly there, it's probably something like this. Yeah. And but if this is a wash, there's a couple of things I'm thinking. If this is a wash, we should be going higher. Okay, we should be looking to make this next swing. Okay, so then I'm like, okay, well, we came down pretty fast and early. Maybe now we're going to a higher high. Yeah, and if we're going to a higher high, then, well, I would rather, I would like to take some more of that. If this is a wash, we should be going higher. So why be so conservative is the first thing I'm thinking. The next thing I'm thinking is we came down pretty early off this. We built a little base and we're very quickly going away. Well, the first thing I got to do is I've got to measure. Put that on the correct point in a minute. Oh, we can't see this. This is an important fork. I'm just gonna make this one go away to clean up the chart so we can see what we're actually looking at. If we measure major structure, starting to think this is major structure here now as well. Okay, but we won't actually know that for a fact until we break newer highs, but it's looking good. I'm quite happy leaning on these guys to hide my stop behind. We should, yeah, we haven't had it yet. Whatever. We should be, there it is. That's the one. I was looking at this bar. It wasn't this bar. I was looking at this bar. And I'm like, man, this bar stands out. But now, now I'm drawing in the fork and I'm like, we've hit our median line. I'm a little bit concerned. Like, maybe price will just kind of come down from here. As it happens, we pull back a little bit, find a bit of support, and we pound on up, So after this bar, I've moved my stop up to like this upper median line, extreme. And I'm watching this bar by bar. I want to be in bed. It's late. I go to bed early, guys. I go to bed at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, because I like to get up around 5, 6 a.m. And I'm watching this bar by bar, and I'm worrying all the time. I'm like, oh, maybe we're struggling over this zone. We should be reaching the upper median line parallel. Yeah, I'm thinking about all this sort of stuff. But now we've bust this major structure. This major structure is gone. Yeah, like we're now this is confirmed, right? Because we've made a higher high, right? So this low is confirmed. Yeah, so we're clearly moving through time and space like this. Now somewhere in here. Where is it? Let's just go look at it here because I had everything drawn in the way it was. So, what? Have I moved this by accident? So you can see I was trading to the upper median line parallel, but in here, it was like after 11 o'clock, I was tired. I'm just like, I was watching the value of this trade like go up like in tiny little fractions, every little tweak up and down. And I actually decided, I watched this come up. I watched it come up, fail to exit my trade because of the spread. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, give me my money. And then it comes down and it comes up, and I'm like, oh my God, like this bar, is it going to break this bar? Like, what if what if it just comes down to here? I'll have lost like 2% of this trade or something. And I was just getting so emotional about the trade. You know, like every time it pulled back a bit, I was feeling fear. I wasn't exiting the trade because I wanted all of the trade, you know, like, I was dealing with fear and with greed. And these are the most difficult things to handle when you're a trader, you know. So I was getting tired. I was not in an optimal space to deal with all these feelings. I decided to just exit the trade. It's pretty much giving me what I want. I think I took an exit around here. Like, we tapped it like twice. I guess this bar hadn't finished yet, right? Like, we tapped it twice, and every time we got close, I was like, whoa, it's gonna exit. I can go to bed and I can not worry about it for the weekend, just be happy with my 5% capital growth. And I was not comfortable with how emotional I was getting about it. So better out of the trade slightly below target than to allow this emotional trading to become any sort of a habit, you know, because we do not trade on emotions like that. It's just, you're so much more likely to make bad decisions. So anyways, I came out kind of around here, and this morning when I got up, sure enough, we went up to our upper median line parallel. And look how we turned there, you know, like, it's just awesome. You know, when you get in touch with the flow of the market like this, it's just awesome. You know, like, we flow up, we pull back, we flow up, we pull back hard off it. But I captured most of this swing by being in sync with this market and following along with the story and how we're flowing, and remembering where the major structures are, and knowing what swing I'm trading. Like, I traded this swing. This swing is what I traded. Okay. So, you know, we followed along with the flow. We came up, we came down. And then after we came down as early, I'm like, this is a wash, so we should be going to new highs. I mean, I thought maybe it's a wash. I was a bit worried we might come off this old battle zone. So often you'll find that you do come off an old battle zone. In fact, this is an old battle zone. Like, we had a massive battle in here, right? And we popped it, we came back, we ran into where the buyers drove price on up, and they defended it and held the position, right? So that you can think the same way in here. Like, we had this big battle in here, we came off it, we came back, maybe they'll defend it again. But this is not in my major area, right? Like, my major area that price is flowing through is like this. This is a minor thing, okay? So I'm not going to get too worried about this because I'm trading the major flow. And I've described the major flow with my lines. That's their purpose. So they're describing the major flow, and they're highlighting facts and information. And if I'm projecting it, I'll make sure that I'm clear, that I'm asking a question or I'm making an assumption, and I make that decision. If I'm typing something, it's got a question mark on it if it's a question. If it's a line I'm drawing that I'm wondering about, it's dashed. What? Hey, I got 2 forks on here. But why? Whatever. Anyway, guys, so I hope that was interesting. It was quite long. It's kind of a lot to get through there. And there's a lot in that I've not made videos on yet. But pretty much everything I understand and I know about trading, I can attribute to like all the free market geometry stuff. It's so awesome. If you do want to understand more about how I trade and why I trade like this, like, man, go check out their YouTube videos, go check out their blog. Tim Marge has also done a bunch of sessions on CME. I think the last one he did was in like 2015 or something, but there's still awesome lectures. Like, go check them out. They're fantastic. Anyway, I'm very happy with this. This gave me like 5.6%, yeah, because I came out a bit early. 5.6% capital growth. Absolutely chuffed with that. Great way to close the week. All right, guys, this is long enough, so we'll leave it at that. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend.